In the Dokudo by Miyamoto Musashi, the Japanese samurai, he said something. I think I can say it from my head though. He said, respect the gods and Buddha, but do not depend on them for help. Let me confirm. Respect the gods and Buddhas, but do not depend on them. That's what Miyamoto Musashi said in the Dokudo. And what is the Dokudo? I was a maverick and I was explaining to the students what the Dokudo was. Sorry, I'm trying to check Dokudo because I'm trying to give you guys full information. Now, when I was a maverick, I was telling them what the Dokudo was, and the analysis or analogy I made that day was, do not seek pleasure in the taste of food. Imagine telling children do not seek pleasure in the taste of food, which I saw a student. This boy is extremely fat. Like, he's so fat, he's becoming obese. But I don't want to tell him stop eating food or reduce the amount of food. Or if you like something that tastes too good, that doesn't mean you should eat it 10 times a day. So I was thinking, how do I respectfully tell him to keep eating but to not, I don't know, to reduce the amount of food he's eating if it is his favorite food. Like, I was just thinking, how do I caution him? And then I remembered, do not, how did he say it again? Do not love food for its taste or coming. Let me see. Do not seek food for its taste. Do not seek pleasure for its own sake. Not that. Okay, so here are the dokudos. Now, the dokudos are 21 principles of Miyamoto Musashi. It's a form of stoicism in a way, but Japanese type of stoicism. Now, the 21 principles of dokudo are: accept everything just the way it is. I don't accept that because I am not going to accept things the way they are. If things aren't going the way I want it, I'm going to put in effort to change it. I am a believer of change. I am Alexander the Great, but better, because imagine Alexander accepting things the way they are and he was unable to unknot the chain. He would have just left it because it probably was not possible. But rather than accepting it, he brought out his sword and he cut it. Yeah. But then again, I also understand that sometimes in life you should not try to overpaint some things because you might end up destroying things, and you should just accept the way they are, because Stoicism calls it amorphati, the love of one's fate. Do not seek pleasure for its own sake. And I was going to first connect Miyamoto Musashi's respect God and Buddha, but do not wait for their help or do not seek for their help. Let me look for it again. Okay, so the one I told the kids was, do not pursue the taste of good food. See, the problem with me making content right now is I'm trying to keep it short and not too long, but then I'm unable to fully express myself. So do I make content for myself or do I make content for people that might be watching? Because apparently people have short attention span. Now, the initial thing I was going to say, let me first finish that part, was respect Buddha and the gods without counting on their help. That is, respect Buddha and the gods without counting on their help. Then we have Charles Bukowski. I love Charles Bukowski. I love Miyamoto Musashi, but I love Charles Bukowski. I learned Bukowski from this TV movie, a movie a movie show. Not it's not a series. It's a movie. Hey Jesus Christ! It's not a show. It's a movie called Beautiful Creatures. I love Beautiful Creatures. So now, Bukowski says, for those who believe in God, most of the big questions are answered. But for those of us who can't readily accept the God formula, the big answers don't remain stone written. We adjust to new conditions and discoveries. We are pliable. Love need not be a command, nor fate a dictum. I am my own God. We are here to unlearn the teachings of the church, state, and our educational system. We are here to drink beer. We are here to kill war. We are here to laugh at the odds and live our lives so well that death will tremble to take us. Like, those words set my soul on fire. Like, I'm not a zombie. I don't just do things because someone told me to do it. Believe in the gods and respect them, but do not depend on them. Right now I'm depending on God, but I realized that why majority of Christians are poor is because they go to church 24/7 and they respect God, but they also depend on him for too much help that they end up not even taking any action. And Apostle Paul said it. I don't know if it was today. Let me check. I'm gonna guess it's the Corinthians or the Philippians. Yes. Who did? Okay, sure. So Paul's letter to the Thessalonians. I'm looking for it. This is already killing my vibe. I feel like I need to do my research before making these videos. But these videos aren't content. These are me just this is me just recording my thoughts. Yeah, so Paul's message to the Thessalonians, if memory serves me right, my mom told me the story. So the Thessalonians believed, okay, so they got the gospel of Jesus Christ and Jesus is coming soon. So because Jesus is coming soon, they stopped working. Like, hey, what's the point of working if Jesus is coming soon and we are going to heaven? Which makes perfect sense. Jesus is coming soon to take us to heaven. Why should I be going to work? But then Paul was like, no, guys, Jesus is coming soon and all that. But you still need to work. Like, you need to put in the effort and still live your life like the way it is. Keep living your normal lives. Which, think about it. Since the time of the Thessalonians till now, I'm not saying Jesus is not coming, but since the time of the Thessalonians till now, Jesus hasn't come. See, I might be a religious person, and I won't even say I'm a religious person. I might be a Christian and a follower of Christ, but I am a very audacious and sensible person because I apply logical thinking to things. And the reason why I believe a whole lot more in Jesus right now is because he's been proving himself to me. And that's the thing about most Christians. Most Christians do not challenge God. They just believe in God because they ask them to believe in God. If you really love a person and you really want to believe in that person, truly, you will challenge the person to know if the person exists. Because if you don't challenge the person to know if the person exists, and you only follow the person because they told you to follow the person, and because it is convenient, and because you know, okay, when they tell you to follow God, these are the things that you get in return, then you will never really experience that person in its full form. And that's just a human being. I think of God, a spiritual being that created the heavens and the earth. So if I was God, I would like, okay, I'll give you my salvation and I'll bring you to heaven, but I won't give you like the juicy parts because I will feel like you only believe in me because you were told to believe in me. I do not want to go to hell, not because you actually love me deeply to care enough to know me in all my glory and you know strength. So yeah, when Miyamoto Musashi says believe in God, but do not respect God and the Buddha, but do not depend on them for help. And when Bukwoski says, I'm gonna read that Bukwoski quote again because I love it. Bukowski says, for those who believe in God, most of the big questions are answered. But for those of us who can't readily accept the God formula, the big answers don't remain stone written. We adjust to new conditions and discoveries. We adjust to new conditions and discoveries. We are pliable. Love need not be a command, nor fate a dictum. Yeah, we don't need you to command us to love, and we don't need you to tell us to have faith. Because why? We do not just take the God factor as a belief. We actually explore our faith, and then we test all these things to know if this is a figment of my imagination or if this being is real. So rather than you tell us to love or not, we know the truth. And the Bible says, when you know the truth will set you free. So we don't love you because you command us to love you. We love you because we love you, because that's the right thing to do, because Christ loved the church and he has commanded us to love you. But we don't just love because of God's command. We love because we realize that the only way progress can come into life and our existence is true love. And we have faith because without faith, then who are we as humans? We have faith because that is the path that elevates our soul and brings us closer to our goals and our destination. And this is not just faith in God, but this is just faith as the English word denounces it. Did I say denounce? As the English word defines it, faith, to believe in something when there isn't proof. I am my own God. Even the Bible says, for ye are gods. And the Bible says, for those who have accepted Christ have been given the power to become sons of God. And if you're a son of something, then you are that thing. So if you're a son of God, you are what? A God. I am my own God. We are here to unlearn the teachings of the church, state, and our educational system. And that is why the world is in a form of, I don't know, should I say equilibrium? Equilibrium is not a bad thing, but the world is in a form of limbo because most people are just zombies. People don't ask questions, people don't challenge things. Most people, when you tell them something, that is what they do. They don't try to test it, they don't try to know if what they've been told is true or not. They just take it like a zombie. And no, according to Bukowski, we are here to unlearn the teachings of the church, state, and our educational system. We are here to drink beer. We are here to kill war. We are here to laugh at the odds and live our lives so well that death will tremble to take us. Because why? Oblivion is inevitable. And if oblivion is inevitable, then you might as well live the best life that you can. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.